everyone, it's Kate. I'm here for another, well, wine and dollies update because look, I've got wine again. In fact, it's a Pinot Noir it's Vino Pinot. Please excuse the dogs barking in the background because they're playing and they're very noisy and annoying, and so I've retreated to the craft room. Well, if you saw my unboxing and then you've been following my Instagram, you'll see that yes, I got my mini fee finally, and I've been trying to clothe her. I had a couple of sewing mishaps, but currently she is wearing a skirt that I finished yesterday. I guess technically I'd already finished it, but I didn't like the waistband because this material is super duper thick. It's like a cotton polyester blend, and it's very long, and sort of it's supposed to be the pattern is supposed to be like from Outlander, which I don't even really watch, and I've read the first book and it's like, oh yeah, it's alright, but I really like the costumes and it seemed to kind of fit her a bit better than going for the boring old medieval dress, which she's wearing underneath because I didn't have a top for her. So it's been interesting, but I replaced the waistband fabric. It was supposed to be the same as the skirt, but I've replaced it with a sort of chiffon stuff, so that I could actually sew it together. It was getting so thick, it was ridiculous, and I hand stitched it and I think it looks a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was, and it's a nice length. So I'm working on her bustier. So I've got the front part finished. It'll go around, obviously, and I'm working on the lining at the moment. I'm having to hand stitch this because it's just a little bit easier for me than I did manage to machine one side, and I thought, yeah, okay, I could do that, or I could just do it by hand. It's much quicker and there's a little bit less swearing involved. So yeah, so this is Annabelle. She may change her name, but I'm not really sure. Things I like is I like her posability. No, she's not a perfect poser, but you know, everyone's made moe line body reviews before, so I don't really feel like reinventing the wheel, you know. But for my purposes, I think she's okay. I think she needs restringing, and I was planning on starting her face up ASAP. It was supposed to be a nice day on Wednesday, but Auckland weather, well, you can't predict it, you know. It's if you know the band Crowded House, they did sing a song 4 Seasons in One Day, and I know that's actually about the Melbourne Botanic Gardens or something. Something about Melbourne. I think it was Melbourne. Even though they're Aucklanders, but it seriously applies to Auckland as well. You know, we go from bright sunshine to pouring rain and howling wind in a day and then back again, and quite often we'll have the rain and the blue skies at the same time, and it's annoying as all hell. So yeah, so how did I get onto that? Oh yeah, so I can't do face-ups. Well, I can't do the ceiling with MSC at the moment because obviously, you know, it doesn't like humidity, and Auckland's pretty freaking humid most of the time anyway. I think the lowest I've ever known it get to is about 60%. It's ridiculous here. Just preventing myself from coughing. So yeah, so I haven't managed to get around to spraying her face yet, or her body, but that will be, so I want to get it all done in one go, because otherwise I think it's going to take forever to get it all with the first seal. If I'm waiting for the weather and if I'm doing it all bit by bit, it takes forever to just wait for these things to happen. So I just need to, the next time there's a good day, even if it's, you know, 6 o'clock at night when I've got home from work, I'm just gonna have to do it, because you've just got to grab these opportunities when you can. So talking about face ups and things, I recently customized a doll, a Blythe doll that I wasn't particularly gelling with, and I'll just go and get her. So if you've seen some of my previous videos, you saw that I got a whole bunch of sort of slightly baity secondhand Blythes, and this is Whimsy. She was one of them. She's a Prima Dolly London, and I was really hesitant to customise her at first because, you know, Prima Dolly London is one of those where everyone's like, oh my god, they're really hard to find. Although actually, well, you know, they say that about everything, but I think if you look hard enough you can usually find what you want. But I was just not enjoying her as she was. So at first I was just going to replace her lips with a vinyl sticker over the top of, because I tried to repaint them and I fucked it up. I'm not brilliant with acrylic paint. It's not a medium I am particularly familiar with or care to get all that familiar with. Watercolour's fine, pastel's fine, acrylics just eh. So I ended up having to sand off the repaint that I'd done and then trying to put these stickers on, and I kept fucking it up again and I was getting so annoyed, and then I was like, you know what, it's a sign, just sand her frickin' face off. So I did, and I carved some new lips for her, and I'm really pleased with this sort of impish little smile. I'm really enjoying this particular shape. It's quite similar to the one that Florence has, my Beatrice Vest custom that I did with the reroots. So, but I've refined it a bit more on Whimsy, and I just think it looks so cute. She's got quite deep nostrils. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with those. And a little beauty mark. I just felt like she needed one. And then I actually gave her lower eyelashes. Sorry, the lighting's really crap. Ugh. Yeah, it's nighttime. So I gave her lower lashes. I've never tried that before, and I think they turned out okay. And in the corner of each eye she's got 3 little dots of glitter, sort of holographic glitter, I guess. The funny story is that stuff actually came in the wrapping paper of some fibre that I bought from the UK. It was like a winter ball themed sampler box of different fibre, and so the glitter was getting everywhere, and then I found some on the ground when I was doing her face up, and I was like, oh hell, that'll look really cool on her. So, and I've given her new eyelashes, which you can't really see on camera. They've got sort of purple in them. That's focusing on my face, focus on her face. And I did actually do like a full pastel rainbow on her eyelids, but of course I started way too high up, so you can't see the orange and the red, which is a shame. but I just think it looks so cute. I was really feeling the pastels and the rainbows, and I've been watching a lot of My Little Pony lately, so yeah, so that was, there you go. I did give her some new eye chips. Let's see. She doesn't actually have charms on her strings right now, so I've tied them together, but it's a little bit awkward for for changing them. I gave her some, they're from Hello Cool Cat, they're Sakura green and yellow. Oh, yeah, I'm filming on my phone and I wish I wasn't, and I need to stop apologising for crappy lighting, because I think it's kind of a reality anytime I make a video. No matter which room I'm in, unless I sat outside in the middle of the daytime, it's going to be crappy lighting. So these are some lovely eye chips that actually came from when I got my nostalgic pop. The lady I bought them from had replaced the yellow eye chips in Lydia for these, and she changed them back to the original yellow when I bought her, but I'd said that I liked them, these ones, and we just got on so well, and she super kindly included them in with the doll, and I was just gobsmacked. You know, people sometimes really do lift my faith in humanity, because sometimes it's so hard to believe that there is good in the world, but then people do some really lovely things like that, and it was really nice. And so I'm really happy that I've found the perfect girl for them. I just think she is so sparkly and whimsical, so that's why she's called Whimsy, and she's just completely, okay, I can't have favourites with my Blythes. Oh, and these are some more custom eye chips. So yeah, she's had quite a few changes. Yeah, back to the purple. Yeah, so she's got 3 special sets. Oh, I can't stop looking at her face, it's so cute. I'm really pleased with how I did on her. Every time you do a dolly face up, you improve, and I'm really pleased with how I'm improving. I don't think I'm ever gonna get to the, you know, constantly customizing for customers or something. I thought about selling some of my custom dolls, but I love them all too much. I don't want to let them go. I have been asked to customize for a couple of other people, but nothing has eventuated from that. Is that even the right word? Probably. So we'll see what happens. I think it's easier in some ways to do Blythe because the canvas is so much bigger. So I'm a little bit daunted by Annabelle's face, but at the same time I know that I want to do something really simple with her, and I don't have to do the carving because she's already sculpted, so that's a plus, I guess. And also I can follow, because she's got things like, there is a sort of brow line, there is the waterline at the bottom. I can follow the lines of the sculpting and use them rather than having to kind of freehand things, which I wouldn't say I struggle with, but it's not the easiest for me. I'm just rambling now, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to finishing her outfit, Annabelle's outfit, and doing her face up. And oh, Stacey, Capricorn Makes, came around last week. Would have been Wednesday. She popped over. She actually lives like 10 minutes down the road, so we you know, depending on the time of year, we see each other quite a lot. or not. Yeah, so she came around and brought some eyes with her, and she brought her dolls. So I finally got to meet her 2 dolls, and so we were playing around with different sized eyes in Annabelle's head, and I think really a 14mm with a small iris would be ideal. Can I find one in a colour that I like? No, of course I can't. So I've ordered some 12mm in green from, I found them on eBay, and they actually were really pretty, and I was like, well, for the price, that's fine. Maybe one day I'll make some eyes for her, but probably not. Yeah, I have this real thing about, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Well, yeah, I could, but that doesn't mean I have to. So, excuse me, I'm gonna have a cough. Okay. You didn't want to hear that. It sounds like my lungs are actually going to come out when I start coughing. I've always coughed like that since I was a baby, and it will never stop. But I actually had a cough last week, and that sucked. So yeah. Apart from that, I don't really have a lot going on. I had my Blythe swap parcel arrived. I haven't actually uploaded. I did make a video of it, but I don't know. It yeah, I'm not sure if I'll bother uploading it, because the person who sent me the swap has already done one of packing it up, and pretty much it was the same for her unparceling the one I sent her, and the comments she was making about the things that I'd put in there were exactly what I'd said putting them in the parcel, and it was the same vice versa. So watching her video of her saying this, that and the other about the different items, it was exactly what I was saying when I was unboxing it all. So it's like, oh, well, that's a bit repetitive, but it's awesome also to know how attuned we were with this swap, and how we just really got everything. It was really cool. So why was I talking about that? Oh, because, yeah, Blythe clothes, Blythe props, stuff like that. Always fun. Yeah. Apart from that, just sewing, sewing, sewing. It's funny, I've spent so many hours on this sewing, and then I look at it and I'm like, ah, it's a dress, it's a skirt. So I've made 2 poorly sized dresses, 1 reasonable dress, and 1 skirt. And I've been sewing my ass off for like 2 weeks. Okay, no, it can't be 2 weeks. 1 week. Yeah. I'm bad at time. Oh dear. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm looking forward to getting her a decent wig. I actually kind of like this one. This is the AliExpress wig that Sighthound Lady has for her SDs, I guess. Or is it for her MSDs? But my one was kind of cut slightly funny on the fringe, so I've resorted to using this little scrap of fabric to hold her hair down. It's cute and I like the colour, but I really would like to make or buy something alpaca and sort of chestnut coloured. I might get her a couple. I might get one. There's one I keep seeing on eBay that's got sort of braided buns, or I don't know, I'm shit at hair. So anyway, she's got some kind of braided confection thing on her head, and it looks cute, and I thought it could work with this kind of outfit. Or else I might make one out of a sheepskin. They've got some really nice sheepskins on sale at one of the big sort of cheapo department stores, but I have yet to go and find one, and I don't really feel like doing any more dyeing because I'm just so over it. Yep, that's Luna telling us that she's there. Yeah, so I might just get some alpaca in the right colour and make a wig for her, but I haven't quite decided yet. I am finding it a little bit more difficult to bond with Annabelle than I do with most of my Blythes. It's really hard for me not to draw comparisons. They're just so much. They're so much fun. Blythes are so much fun. You just pick them up and they've got so much character, and just, yes, BJDs can have so much character as well, but I'm just finding it's difficult with a very blank doll. I mean, you know, she comes to you with no clothes, there's no story already there, even though there was the one in my head, and it's been quite difficult to kind of just to make it work. I don't know, I guess I am not the most patient person in the world, and yes, I realise this is a hobby that requires patience to a large degree, so perhaps it's not really the best hobby for me to be in, but at the same time, like, if I've got a kind of connection going, then I don't mind taking my time, letting the story come organically, or, oh, that sounds really wanky, but you know, like with my Blythe dolls, I'll pick them up and they tell me their story, whereas I do feel a little bit like I'm forcing it on her and she's not quite fitting where I'm trying to make it go, if that makes any sense. I had thought part of that was the problem with I get really I'm a huge nerd. I have a background in ancient history. I studied a lot of history at university. I've got a master's in ancient history, and obviously I'm a nerd because I'm a librarian as well. And it's like, so if I'm talking about when I try to set something in a specific setting, so like if I was to write about ancient Rome, I would want to get every single detail absolutely as perfect as I possibly could. Otherwise it would bug the hell out of me. And I also noticed that if I can't get it quite right, I kind of freeze up and I'm like, oh god, what am I doing? Ultimately I will drag myself out of it. I will redirect my energy, and I'm one of those people where I will rant and I will swear and I'll stamp my feet and I'll keep going at it, and then I'll get it done and then it would be fine. So this is the same with the sewing. You know, I kept having all these troubles and I was like, I fucking hate it, I never want to do any sewing again, but I just couldn't leave it. I had to finish it, I had to make it right, and that's just who I am. But that was something that was really bothering me with the clothing, was I wanted to get this sort of, originally the idea was that she was going to be in a sort of medieval setting, but then I started sort of overthinking it. It's like, oh well, you couldn't, I can't have this fabric and I can't have that fabric and I can't have these dye colours because that probably wouldn't be appropriate, and it was almost like I was trying to set it in a medieval period Europe, even though it's supposed to be a fantasy world, and I just was getting too far into my own head and psyching myself out to a certain degree, because I want it to be right. So I guess I'm sort of contemplating whether I actually really need to shell that particular character and create that particular story as something visual, if that makes any sense. Like, it's really hard to explain, especially on a Friday night when I've been working and my dogs are barking and it's just, I've got to work tomorrow and I don't want to. So it's my problem is trying to tear myself away from perfectionism. Even though I can be quite lazy, I'm also a perfectionist. So it's a strange combination, but well, I've got to where I am because of who I am and how I act, and I'm doing alright, so that's alright. But at the same time, I've really been stressing myself out about who this girl is, what she would look like, how she would dress, what kind of socio-economic development would have been happening in the world around her, and how would she have gotten silks if she's living in a medieval agricultural society, you know. And I think I need to stop overthinking it. I need to stop being quite so strict with myself and just allow myself to enjoy her for who she is. And maybe I do need to let her to tell me, you know, to let her tell me who her character is. Because she does have some, there is some there, you know. She's got that little smirk. She's got this kind of mischievous feeling coming off her, and it's not just the hair, and it's not just the purple eye chips. Yeah, I'm blithing again. There's just something about her that's sort of impish, and it's not quite who that character was supposed to be, but maybe I should actually just roll with it and create something new. You know, maybe this is just not a story that should have its characters shelled in doll form. You know, maybe that story should just remain typed up on a computer and tweaked every couple of years and never actually finished. So, yeah. So that's a lot of rambling from me. I will be... Now, so next week... I'm getting confused about the dates. Tomorrow's the 19th. So... I think there's 12 days until I pay off my last chunk on my Lily Cat doll. So excited! So she's coming all the way from Finland, and I'm very excited, and I've made a new friend, and if you're watching this, hi! And I'm super excited. And I don't actually have a plan for that doll. You know, I didn't buy her with the idea that she would be a specific character, so maybe that's actually a really good thing. And it will help me sort of adjust my mentality and stop overthinking, because really it's a hobby. I shouldn't be thinking this much about it. I blame finishing uni. I don't have anything to focus my mind on, like, in that sort of level of intensity. So I've automatically gone over uni, dolls. It's like, maybe I need to chill out a bit. I just don't know how. Yeah. So I've rambled for a frickin' long time, and I probably bored the crap out of everyone. So if you stuck with me this long, thank you. And if you haven't, well, you won't hear me saying fair enough, but fair enough. And I hope that I will have something interesting to share with you next week or so. But until then, see ya! Bye!